die. Hey there, everybody. We didn't actually figure this out first. Hey, everybody. Welcome to question and answer period. Hang out with the boys. I'm Rick. Got Matt Vogel over there.
What's going on?
And we'll be joined by Cam in about
Rick,
a half
that
hour.
intro video was electric.
Oh, that's what I wasn't sure. We should have said who's going to talk first. Anyways, listen,
whatever. No, that intro video was awesome.
We're here for some fun, and what we're going to do tonight is very simple. It's question and answer. So you guys supply the questions, and we will supply the answers. You can ask us pretty much anything you want. It doesn't have to be just about hockey. If it's something we don't want to answer, though, we reserve the right to not answer a question. So we'll start with that. And I know there's a few people here already. If you are here, if you join us at any point, just say hi, ask a question, and we'll get to it. Let's see who's here. We're already losing people. Look at that. Guru, hey, Habs Guru is here. All right. Guru's almost always the first one in my chats there. We're on both channels tonight. Nobody's shown up from the other channel yet. By the way you can tell, actually, I think red is on Don't Puck with Media because you could see different colors in the chat for the names. I think that means where they're coming from, but it might not be. I don't know. So like I said, we're here to answer your questions. About anything. So we're just not going to talk unless there's questions thrown our way, right? So Guru says
we'll be sitting here in silence until anybody else comes in.
Not saying a word. So Guru says, hope it's all is good tonight. A Wonderful is here. Oh, neat. I'm interested in this. Happy Friday to all. TGIF. Yes. Hey, Red. Maybe you could say like one. Anyways, hey, can you jump on? No, we're not having guests that way. What is Kent Hughes' vision? The vision is not good. What is Kent Hughes' vision? Vogel, you want to grab that one?
What was that?
What is Canadiens GM Kent Hughes' vision? You're not good with that
honest.
one? I'm just bugging.
I was going to say I got nothing on that. Hopefully a terrible one.
What his vision is long term. They're building a team long term. They have their vision for what they're building. They're not going to listen to a bunch of unhappy fans who don't really know what they're talking about, demanding things that is going to screw up the rebuild. So it's called patience. Have a little patience with the rebuild. And by the way, if you really want to know my feelings about it, check out Don't Puck with Media's website or talking-habs. Got to put the hyphen in there. .com's website. And I've got a new poem, and it's written specifically about that. And hopefully you guys will check it out. Links are in the description of this video. You don't like it? Well, I like what they're doing. I have no problem having patience through a rebuild. A rebuild that's supposed to take 5 years. We're in year 3. That's all. I'm not going to go pissing and shitting all about what they're doing when we're only in year 3. That's what I got to say about it. All right, we got to get some questions for Matt.
No one ever has any patience for rebuilds. I mean, and rightfully so. Nobody wants to wait. Everyone wants to be in win now mode all the time. It's tough.
I get it, but you can't win now. I'd rather be where we are right now than just the middle of the pack team every year. I'd rather rebuild and hopefully get a top quality team out of it than just you patch it here and there and this and that, and you're just always in the center of the league, and it's not for me. That's how I see it.
Yeah, hopefully having a plan. Having a plan is the biggest part.
I mean, they do. Listen, Jeff Gorton built the Rangers as they are right now. I mean, he was the main architect of the Rangers as they are, right? That's the guy that's at the helm. I'm going to trust in him until such time as they screw up all the time. They haven't made a bad trade, in my opinion. They haven't made a bad trade. I don't think they've made bad moves. I'm waiting for them to start doing that. There's a question for you, man. Look at this.
What is John? John, there is no downside. That's actually the question. What's the downside? There is none.
I love that.
He's the
It's
best.
perfect. Which is the biggest John Beecher, what do you call that? Proponent? No. It's not the right word.
I don't even know. So I don't know if that's a comment knowing what's been going on, but we have been, all the guys at Boston with all the other guys at DP have been really riding John Beecher. It kind of just started one day, and we've really been beating it into the ground because, you know, why not? I mean, you got to root for your guys and your young guys especially. So
it started on
big
one
joke
of the Pucking Around podcasts.
Yeah, it started on one of the
yeah.
When Camp comes on a little later, he'll tell you, you know, Johnny Beecher's going to win the Hart, the Rocket Richard, the Vezina, the Norris, everything. He's the ball, dude. He's not.
He's
the best.
But he's not though. He's
Lady
the bomb
Bing,
for a
King
fourth
Clancy.
liner. He's the bomb. No, he's not on your fourth line. What line is he playing on there? He's not playing on the fourth line.
He was on the fourth line, but now he could be on the fucking first. I mean, the way the lines are getting moved around.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. That's very true.
But the fourth line was the only one producing for months.
The fourth line, yeah, for sure. Now just nobody's producing. Yeah. But welcome to our world.
Right? Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say we're at that point yet, but we got some stuff we got to
be like out. That, man. Be like that. You know, karma is going to get you, man. Karma.
Yeah. Luckily, we haven't had to go through a total rebuild in a long time. So if and when that day comes, I'm not looking forward to it.
It's definitely not fun. It's definitely not fun. But if you are, you have to have some patience and you have to have some trust in your management. If you can do that, then, you know, it's not as bad because, you know, what's going to be there at the end of this rebuild, you know, I think is going to be something really special. So I think it's worth the wait, and I'm going to have the patience for it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
about to be joined by somebody, but I don't know what's taking them so long. Oh, what's this? Oh, I see. Well, hang on. Okay.
We got him here. Where is he?
What's up, bitches?
No.
Yeah, hang on.
That's right, boys. It's a party time now. Play that music. We bumping. What's going on, fellas? No, I'm in the car.
Still hearing the music. Hang on. I'm still hearing the music, man. All right. Well, we got the he's in black there tonight. I don't know why.
I'll be joining on live shit soon. Like I said, I'm in the car. I'm on my way home. Things ran a little late.
You're in the car. I get it.
Yeah, right. Dude, I'm good. Dude, it's Goosey from the car. Don't you know?
Goosey from the car. Is that like Jenny from the block at all?
No, we don't talk about Jenny. She ain't doing so hot.
Okay.
Cam, someone just asked about what's the upside with John Beecher.
What's the upside of John Beecher? I mean, I don't know as of right now. I mean, they started off the season pretty well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that fourth line has kind of cooled off, but so hasn't the entire team if you look at it. So, I mean, it's I would say it's a work in progress right now. I mean, for the team, I mean, you know, there's not much to really say on it. They've cooled off. I mean, they looked like they were all going to have career years this year at the start of the season. You know, that was the trajectory, but, you know, we're going to have to kind of see if Montgomery can fix the team up a little bit and if they can start to get some believability in themselves, and then, you know, maybe we'll see them re-spark. But, you know, they have upside, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's going to be his first or second full year in the NHL, so, you know, you got to give some time to adapt to that.
It's a lot for a fourth liner to be talking. You're saying a lot of words for a fourth liner, in my opinion.
Yeah, but he's a former first round pick. He was 30th overall. So you gotta give him credit in you know where that is, but
I was just trying to pull your chain. So we got another. This is a good one for you guys, both of you. This is for both of you. Is Boston's run of being a contender done?
No.
It's a good question.
Silence. Crickets. Did you hear that? Crickets.
No, I mean, it's a good question.
No, that is a good question, though. I mean, it is. Cam, you can go first.
It's difficult to say. I mean, right now, obviously, they don't look good. You know, their record against playoff teams, I believe, is 2-3-1. So it's not exactly, you know, a phenomenal look on Montgomery right now. It's not a phenomenal look on the Bruins as a whole. You know, you look at a lot of your top guys that that should be performing are just simply not performing. You know, and the likes of Charlie Coyle, you know, Elias Lindholm, Charlie McAvoy, Jeremy Swayman, those guys that, you know, you anticipated to have good years, you know, this year are really off to a slow start, if anything. And, you know, the only constants on the team have been, you know, that fourth line and, like, you know, Brad Marchand and David Pastrnak. So it all depends. I'll save my thoughts further on that come Thanksgiving, which is not that far away. But if they don't give me a sign that they're going to be heading in the right direction, then I would say, yeah, they may fall out of the playoffs this year. But out of contention entirely for next year, I'd be hard pressed to say that.
That's fair. All right, what's next?
Yeah, I mentioned that on the Fucking Around podcast this week. I think that Thanksgiving is going to be a big benchmark for where Boston is going. I think that you're going to know. Truthfully, I think Montgomery is going to be gone by then, so they have to be, you know, maybe under a new coach or whatever. But I would like to say they're going to be in contention every year, but again, I don't think anybody expected the team to start out like this, and hopefully it gets turned around because I do think they'll be in a playoff spot. It's going to be tough to get past Florida again because obviously the past couple of years they've walked us. But
do you think some of this, the trouble you guys are in, can be pinned to a bit to Don Sweeney? And I mean, he's kind of fucked up a little bit in the offseason. I mean,
I don't think it's Don Sweeney.
But Swayman's numbers aren't great. But if you remember when he signed, and I said without that preseason, without any of that training camp, that's one of the problems is guys usually have a lousy year or they get injured. And right now he's having a lousy year so far.
Yeah, but
honestly,
I'm not going to attribute Jeremy Swayman's bad numbers to Jeremy Swayman. I'm going to attribute it to the horrible defense that's been playing in front of him. I mean, if you look at it, look at McAvoy, Zadorov, you know, those two are your cornerstone pieces, right, as your top line, and or, you know, depending on the game that they play, you know, you really need those players to play and defend the goaltender, and they're just simply not doing that. The defense is so soft in their own end, and, you know, sure, can Swayman have a couple of those saves and saves back? Of course, you know, any goalie would love to say and have that, but ultimately, I don't. Swayman's probably been one of your most consistent Bruins, if anything. Like, he may be letting in the goals, but he has been making stellar saves when he's needed to, trying to keep Boston in these games.
Okay, but you know, our goalie here, our number one, kind of you guys.
You don't really have
kind of said.
Montreal doesn't have a number one.
Wait a second. Kind of, you guys have said stuff about him that you can attribute some of what he's going through to our defense, which we have like right now.
No, I genuinely think Monty and Primo just really are not good NHL goaltenders. They're not true number ones. They're backups at best.
Okay, but it had nothing to do with the defense in front of them. But it does in Boston, though. Okay, no problem. I believe you. All right, let's move on.
You cannot tell me that because you have Caden Gooley, Lane Hudson, David Savard, and you're going to tell me that it's solely like, come on, like
the defense. Come on, our defense sucks right
your
now.
defense is not that as horrible as other team defenses. Your goaltenders also don't help you out that much either. At least Swayman has shown that he can be a good goaltender amid bad defenses. I mean, look at Toronto in the playoffs last series. He won you that series. Alone, you know, and then you look at the Florida series, he kept you in that. You put Monty or Primo in that same situation, they're caving.
Primo, I'm not trying to defend Primo, but Monty, different story, and I think a lot of it has to do with the defense. I'm not saying he's the greatest goalie in the league, but he's anyway. That's not what we came here for.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're not here.
This isn't the beating down the Talking Habs channel.
Yeah, we're not here to criticize my team. We're here just to criticize the Bruins. All right. Next question is here it is. Hockey Guy was saying the NHL is horrible for the amount of teams rebuilding all the time. Can't be any worse than any other major sport in North America, can it?
I'm going to argue that, and I'll challenge that with the NFL. The NFL is historically known for rebuilding teams the most in any other sport. If you look at that, they're so quick to give up on their quarterbacks that they don't even give them time to develop. There is no developmental league in the NFL, and the patience to develop players in the NFL is extremely low. I'd actually argue that the NHL, their rebuilds, depending on how they're managed, majority of the time, and I'd say greater than 95% of them, happen within about a 5-year span. Once they've accepted the fact that it is a rebuild, like they happen, and they can happen pretty quickly.
But now in the NFL, though, I mean, a rebuild can be pretty quick.
A rebuild can take.
Yeah, you could have 1 or 2 players that could reshape a franchise.
Like you can rebuild an NFL team in 1-2 seasons.
I think baseball would probably be pretty tough too. I think the MLB, it's also different with no salary cap, and teams with the most monies can afford the best players. So it's a little bit different, but
yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to challenge that too. I mean, if you look at it, if you look at parities in the leagues, right? I mean, if we want to talk about the NFL, it's very dependent because they only play 17 games. They have 32 teams, so not every team plays each other, so it's really hard to assess the parity in the league and to assess it from that because it's all schedule based. But if you look at the NHL and baseball and basketball, you could really assess the parities in those leagues because of the amount of games played.
Well, there's parity. I mean, the NHL has a lot of parity,
which is good. I'd rather that. I would rather have.
I don't know enough about basketball to make that comp. So
what was that?
Yeah, I
don't know enough about basketball to even make that comp. So
me neither. I can't comment on that either.
Celtics banner 18 going for 19.
I mean, how many teams are rebuilding that are officially rebuilding anyway? There's not that many.
And
what
are
officially in rebuilds? A few, but yeah, in the NHL.
I'd probably say 3 or 4, but
that's as far as I know too. About 3 or 4. That's not like a ton. And that's what happens. You have to rebuild sometimes. You have to.
Yeah, being at the bottom of the league does not necessarily mean that you're rebuilding.
No, and that's 100% true. But I mean, at some point, you got to rebuild. It doesn't mean you got to rebuild every 5 years, obviously. But eventually, teams have to rebuild, or else you're going to just be mediocre every year. And except like Montreal, the odd year. Sure, we'd have a great year, and then next year it'd be shitty. So, tired of the up and down. I'd rather they get it right, and then we're good for a while.
Be consistently shitty and then get better.
Yeah, you have no choice at some point. Phil asks, why didn't the refs give the goalie a penalty for dry humping Slav for an uncomfortable minute? You guys probably didn't see that. It was last night's game. But literally, Slav got bumped into the net, knocked the net off the mooring, hit the goalie. Not his fault. The goalie goes right over, and he's on top of him, holding him down. Referee is right there, looking at he's right there. You can see his hand in the video, right in the camera. No call. How is that not interference?
Listen, I think you
Riker's Slapcock or whatever the fuck his name is liked it. Slapcock.
That's a good one. We gotta name him that, dude. That's a good one. Slapcocksky. Put it on a shirt.
I'm sure he'd like it because he's probably got
because he liked it.
Dude, that guy has a hammer. Have you seen that guy's face?
He's got a hammer for sure. So he's probably laughing.
There's no way he does.
How big it is. I show you.
Who did they play last night?
Who did we play last night?
Yeah.
I gotta look it up because I forget. Minnesota.
Oh. Yeah, I was watching the Dallas Stars score a touchdown against the Bruins.
Yeah, I know.
Wait,
I felt good.
I don't recall that game. Listen, Rick, I'm going to do this quick thing on the refs. And I think you know that I try to defend the referees as much as I possibly can, with especially when they're trying to make calls at an extremely high speed, and their brain needs to process it. But after last night,
we don't like you because you defend the refs.
Whatever.
Just say.
But after last night, after what Jamie Benn did to Brandon Carlo, I lost a lot of respect for not only for Jamie Benn, but for the way the NHL up in Toronto handled that call.
Yep.
I mean, you know, if you watch the intermission or listen to the intermission, if you're a Bruins fan or anything like that, all the announcers, Judd Surratt, Andy Brickley, they were citing the rule book like it was textbook. It's like, I understand it's a bias from the Bruins perspective listening to those guys, but anyone looking at that objectively could say that's got to be 5.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I saw somebody wrote about it saying that was a textbook major. Maybe it was you even.
It was.
I saw that.
By the book.
On Bluesky.
But then again, you know, the league also doesn't understand what goaltender interference is. And, you know,
they understand it.
Their training isn't good.
They don't. There's a reason. In my opinion, they know what it is. They're just, I don't know, corrupt. So it depends on the game.
I don't want to say corrupt. I want to say poorly trained.
Yeah.
I want to say very poorly trained, and not enough good examples are being done or provided to these NHL referees that is enough for them. Like, you know what I mean? Because, you know, when they train these guys, they're showing examples of what a call is, you know, what it's going to look like. You know, some of them are judgment calls, don't get me wrong, ticky-tack stuff. But for something like that, when you have all the time in the world to review something, you have to get it right. I don't give much in the way of excuses. And the worst part of it is when they don't provide an explanation for why something was reduced.
When you are,
we've talked about that. You're never gonna get that.
When you're standing in front of 2 players, one player is being interfered with, and it's happening for like 20 seconds, and you're watching it, and you don't make a call, that's corruption. That's not a ref making a mistake, misinterpreting, or didn't see it.
Well, no, corruption is more better defined of, like, you know, you actually have to show that they're not making a call because they're being told not to do so. Like, that's corruption. Like that. Yeah. That's more.
I'm kind of saying that. I don't have proof, but I'm kind of saying it. And
I don't care because fuck the Habs, dude. You guys can eat it for all I give a shit.
I can't. I'm trying to find that video. I don't know what happened. I can't find it.
For what?
What video?
Slap talk team.
Yeah, no, I just told you what happened.
No, I know
yeah,
you told me what happened, but I wanted to see it.
Yeah, well, my mom also told me the sky is green, but, like, you know, that doesn't mean I believe. You know, I don't have to believe everything she says.
You don't believe me now? Now they don't believe me because I'm lying about these things. You know,
I don't think that you're lying.
No, seriously, what I said is what happened. The goalie was on top of him, holding him down while the play goes on. Play went back the other way, all the way to the other end. The goalie's on slap. Ref did nothing. How is that not
sweet
interference?
Nothings in his ear. I don't know. I was trying to find the video.
He's saying, wait.
He's a man of the people. He's trying to find the video. Leave him alone.
There you go. He's a man of the people.
It's
right in our intro. All right.
What?
Okay, there's a weird energy going on. Okay, this is for Vogel. He's not going to know the answer, but he's very desperate, Paul. Just wants Joshua Roy to be called up by Montreal. He's trying to get you to okay it so he can feel better.
Oh, yeah. Paul? Bring him up. Bring him up.
Yeah. Do you know who Joshua Roy is? First of all, do you know who Joshua Roy is?
Come on. Do you think that I would answer that question if I don't know who he is?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. Bring him up. I think that's what Montreal needs. They need a little bit of Joshua Roy there.
Paul will be insufferable after this now.
Yeah.
No, they're not calling.
Paul, next time Rick gives you any hard time about that, just let him know that I said we need to bring this guy up.
Yeah, we do, because Joshua Roy is going to take Montreal from last place, because that's where we are, and shoot us right up to the top. Because the problem is we have
for
young
sure.
players, and the solution for having too many young players and they need experience is to bring up an even younger player with less experience.
Yeah, but the one thing that I think right now could make the Montreal Canadiens better is Canadian professional ice hockey winger for the Laval Rocket of the American Hockey League, Joshua Waugh. I mean, that's what you guys need.
You know what they say, hey, Americans don't know shit about hockey. So
21-year-old, 6 foot, 150th overall draft pick. I know everything about this kid. I've heard
150th overall draft pick. He is going to be.
He knows everything that he could read off the internet about this kid.
Yeah, everything. No, seriously, Joshua Waugh, he's gonna win a championship in the AHL. That's why he's staying down there, because he's not gonna make a difference, not a shit of a difference to where Montreal's gonna finish this year. Not a freaking difference. That's why he's going to get the experience of winning a championship potentially and scoring 50 goals down in the AHL, because that, in my opinion, is a lot better for him than to come up and to lose here.
Look at that. He has 7 goals and 6 assists. And that's not in 5 games, right?
Who?
What's his name? This
Joshua
stud
Waugh?
you guys got that won't call up.
All I know is on pace for 50 goals. 5 wins. Wake up. Waugh has 7 goals and 6 assists. But again, how is that going to make it? So Cole Caulfield has 12 goals. Nick Suzuki has 13 points.
5'3" mutant.
17 points. How's that going to make a difference? Oh, yeah. No, it's true. He's buddies with Beecher. They're the same. Him and Beecher. That's what it is.
Hey.
You're right.
You keep that Vezina, Hart, Maurice Rocket Richard trophy winning guy out of your mouth.
Out of your mouth.
That man is a saint.
Yeah.
He donated
Laval's
$10
million right now.
Hard-earned money.
Saint Beecher. I never heard of Saint Beecher. You ever hear that guy?
Dude, you don't even know.
All right. Are we gonna get any?
And in 2, that's crazy.
They don't have to be hockey questions, by the way, people. If you want to get to know us a little bit better, I mean, these are mostly my people here. I
don't care. Questions, comments, observations about life. I want to hear all of it.
Yeah. So if you want
Rick's Christmas tree in the background, we want to hear it.
You notice there's no lights at the top. I have to string everything. God damn it. That's what happens when you're a Jew with a Christmas tree. A Jew with a Christmas tree, that's karma. You see, the lights are off at the top. That's what happens. All right. I don't think people are going to talk to us tonight. So what are we going to do to entertain
That's fine.
people?
I want to know Cam's favorite AHL team.
God, I couldn't even tell you right now.
Bruins.
You're not a big Utica Comet.
Didn't we just beat your Providence Bruins the other day? The Laval Rocket?
Honestly, I have no idea.
We did. Cam's gone, but Cam will
good.
Be back.
Don't let him back in.
No, well, I can't keep him out.
He's pretty good. I'm not disagreeing with you. I am in on this kid on Waugh right there. I'm Team Paul right now.
You do, Paul. You do realize Vogel's a Bruins fan. He doesn't like Montreal, so he's gonna say anything, especially if he thinks it's gonna make Montreal worse.
I don't know who the guy is.
It's funny. It's just it's an argument me and Paul have all the time.
Well, listen, I'm Team Paul.
Team Paul now. Look at that. Paul, you got a fan over here. Look at that.
I'm Team Paul.
My God.
Hey, Franco. Good to see you out there, buddy.
Franco.
Unfortunately, it's the shit contracts killing the Habs.
What was that I heard about?
It's not the shit contract killing the Habs. But again, it's not the shit. We're in a rebuild. Okay, so there's a writer I'm going to just clear this up now. There's a writer, long time for Montreal. His name is Brian Wild. He researched this. teams that are in a 5-year rebuild. He's gone back through I don't know how many years. Teams that were in a 5-year rebuild, expected 5-year rebuild, almost down to a team with 1 or 2 exceptions. Year 3, they regressed. Every goddamn team regressed in year 3. What year are we in? Year 3. Anybody got it? Year 3? Did I hear 3? They regressed a little bit. That's all that's wrong. I can't hear Cam. Cam, somebody silenced Cam.
No, he's doing it all. He's
No. No,
Any thoughts on goaltending development? Used to be a Quebec positive, now no longer.
What was that? Oh, any
Franco.
thoughts on goaltending development?
Is that
I guess what he's saying is why are there's not very many good goalies coming out of the Quebec, the QMJHL coming out of Quebec here. European goalies seem to be the thing of the day, no? Hello? Is this thing working? Hello?
Yeah, we heard you. Like, I don't know
What was that?
Sorry. Goalies. I don't fully understand the question. I'm sorry. So that's why.
Any thoughts on goaltending development? Quebec used to be, I'd say, a big producer of goalies in the NHL, and that's dropped off a lot. So any thoughts on that?
It's a lot of American goalies right now. Look at like Connor Hellebuck, Jeremy Swayman, Jake Ottinger. I mean,
American and European goalies are
European goalies too. Like I mean, look at Tuukka Rask was an example. Like another one. Fleury is Canadian.
Example. He's been retired for how long?
But he was a European goalie, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Just look at the league now. Look at how many European goalies are in the league right now, and I think American goalies have also, have outperformed the Quebec goalies. Just Canada in general too.
Cam Fowler's American, isn't he?
Canada's lacking a little bit in the goaltending department as a country right now. I think that's the thing.
Cam Fowler is American, right?
Who?
Cam Fowler is a goalie, right?
Cam Fowler for the Ducks?
What's his name? No, what's his name?
Jacob Fowler.
Fowler.
That's our goalie.
Cam Fowler's not.
Cam Fowler
Cam Fowler's a defenseman for the Ducks, yeah. But,
for the Ducks,
okay,
yeah.
So it is. Yeah. Okay. So Jacob Fowler is a goalie. He's an American goalie, isn't he? So yeah, that's another prime example.
Yeah. He's an American goalie, but he does have Quebec ties. He's got family from Quebec, so he does. But it doesn't have anything to do with him being a goalie. But
that doesn't matter. Come on, no, it's apples to oranges now.
Well, I mean, listen how you guys were reaching before. I mean, I could do it too.
I've never once reached in my life.
Good for the goosey is good for the gander too.
Vogel doesn't reach, dude.
I don't reach. It's just straight. He always gets his goal.
What is that, Vogel? You're a goalie?
No.
So what was that about? What did you guys just say? I just totally lost it. I'm sorry.
No,
a little too late back tonight.
I'm not a goalie. I don't have that kind of brain.
Do you have any brain though?
You get the reflexes though.
Not much. You gotta be a certain breed. You gotta be a certain breed to be a goalie. I would be toast.
A goalie. No, that's true.
After I got scored on once, I would be toast.
But to face the shot,
the mental toughness is the mental toughness isn't there. I don't even think it's facing a shot to like
lose my mind.
You've got to be a little wacky to be a goalie, from what I understand. In a certain ways, not that goalies are crazy, but they have to have a little bit of craziness in them. They're different. Let's put it that way. Goalies are a little different in general.
No, all this stuff behind me, that's not mine. That's all my brother's stuff.
They usually sit by themselves in the corner. They're quiet. Usually.
I don't know. My buddy was a goalie. Never really noticed anything wrong with him. So I had more friends when I played football that had weirder, like, it like ticks. You know what I mean? Like we had a guy that literally just would not wash anything. Nobody wanted to be around him in the locker room. It was disgusting.
Okay, but the hockey players are, I don't know about athletes in general, but I know hockey players can be very superstitious,
Yeah.
especially about that kind of stuff, right? If you had a great
Yeah.
game and you're wearing certain underwear and a certain T-shirt underneath, that's
Yeah.
it. You're wearing that every game.
Yeah. No, I think that's athletes in general too. Like, like whatever helps or whatever gets them in the. It's a mindset thing. It's not even so much like it's a real.
I've played with guys that like down to like I have to put like my left sock on before my right sock. Like it's stuff like
Oh,
I
fuck,
do
there's
that.
a lot of those guys like that.
I do that. All my equipment goes on right to left though. I'm the opposite, so like I go right to left. And every time I haven't, I've gotten hurt.
And when you scratch your nuts, left to right, right to left?
No, it's only when I put on my hockey equipment.
I'm Jewish, so it's always right to left.
I'm glad that matters.
I didn't know you guys would get that.
What the fuck?
I got it.
All right.
I don't know.
More questions. Let's see. Paul is saying again to Vogel, that's okay to be a Boston fan. I have been a Montreal fan for 70 years. And he's on his way to bed. Have a good one, Paul. As always, good to see you, and we'll see you on the next game. That's tomorrow. Let's see. You guys are off tonight? Well, no, we're here.
No, I think he.
Are we here or we're off?
I don't think he meant that. I think he goes, we're a little off. Like,
we're off tonight. Not me. It's them. I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. But I'm good.
Is that the Mike Tyson fight? Is that on right now?
It's happening right now, apparently.
Probably, dude. If Mike Tyson doesn't kick his ass, it's gonna be crazy. Like, have you seen some of the videos that have come out with his training at 58 years old?
I think he's the favorite, but you're gonna get like one or two good rounds out of him. I mean, he's what is he? 60 years old. I mean, he's still
you should see
monster, but
he's
I don't
57.
know. I hope that he
it's
wins.
not gonna matter. It's not going to matter if he can land a few good punches to Jake Paul's head, dude.
Yeah, he still moves like he's 25, and he can still hit like a I don't know what to say, but he can still hit like he always did.
Yeah, I can't stand either one of those, either Jake or Logan Paul. I hope Tyson wins, but I just can't get behind any of the fights that are coming out with that stuff.
No, me neither.
I think it's all bullshit.
Yeah, but this one, I mean, Tyson, I hate Jake Paul. I just hate that guy. I don't know why.
Yeah, both of them. Him and his brother. I can't say. I mean, his brother, I've seen a little bit of him since he started doing wrestling stuff, and he's pretty good at that. But I can tolerate him more. But Jake Paul, I can't stand.
Yeah, I think
I think it's on Netflix, right? Like Netflix is streaming it too, right?
Yeah.
Is it?
No, I think that's the only place you can get it.
Oh, I didn't know that, so I'll be able to watch it there. I'd like to see him kick his ass.
I think it's
a big contract. It doesn't matter because it doesn't matter who wins or loses for them. They don't give a flying shit. I mean, sure, they'll say it publicly, but in the end of the day, dude, they're getting paid probably well over $300,000 each for this fight.
I disagree with that. I think for Tyson, it matters.
Maybe for him, yeah, but
he don't like losing.
Jake Paul was the favorite too. I forget what the odds were, but I know he was the favorite.
Tyson doesn't like losing. I'm pretty sure he doesn't like losing. I think Jake Paul's in for if he gets out of the third round.
I don't think it started yet. I
don't
think it started yet. Did it?
There was a couple fights before.
Someone said they're gonna
before they went. So
yeah, they're gonna ramp it up. So
there's gonna be a whole.
No, it looks like there's about to be another one.
Before the I don't think it'll be that.
It is free on Netflix apparently. So
yeah, but they're probably gonna go on at 11 Eastern time. Like, you know what I mean? It's probably gonna be a late fight because they're gonna.
I think there was 3 fights on before them.
Yeah, so I don't know. My money's on Tyson. So.
Let's see. Oh yeah, there it is. I don't know why I can't get into the thumbnails on Netflix. That's weird. Well, it's there. I can't see what time.
It's 8 2-minute rounds.
Started at 8. So
No. Habs Guru said the fight is 8 2-minute rounds.
8 2-minute rounds? They're usually what, 3 minute? No?
It's usually 12 rounds.
No, there's 8-round fights, 8-round bouts.
I always thought it was 12, but I don't know.
No, I know. Okay,
I'm not
younger
the fight guy. I don't know much about it.
I don't know. I'd be surprised if it goes 8 rounds. Oh, it's going to start soon, apparently. So,
it's perfect. 10:30 to 11. So that's when we hop off, guys. So that's going to be perfect. You're going to get your weekly dose of hockey talk here with the boys, the Q&As. And, then you can hop right on over to watch it on Netflix, guys. So we definitely appreciate you guys watching and, hanging out with us. We love you guys. We love the vibes here.
But we want more questions. Come on.
What do you mean? Listen, we're entertaining. We're entertaining. Look at Vogel. He's off playing with his fidget toy. You're talking about your Jewish balls.
No, I actually have.
Let me finish.
It's actually the chain and the gold bracelet from the Halloween show we did that I still just have sitting on.
From Maddie Bag of Donuts?
Yeah.
From Maddie Bag of Donuts. Hey, everybody who's listening, you know how much we love you guys and we appreciate you guys, especially, in coordination with Talking Habs. We love all of you out there. And we appreciate the support. Don't forget, guys, you can always reach out to us. We now actually have a happy medium, of which case you guys always can reach out to us, and that's through our website at don'tpuckwithmedia.com. That is don'tpuckwithmedia.com.
Link is in the description
Mm-hmm.
of all of my videos, of all our videos on both channels. You can get the link there, and you can well, for me, you guys know how to reach me anyway. My email and everything's in my descriptions.
Yeah, and it's brought to you by Rick's Hairy Ballsack. Apparently, he goes right to left.
Yeah, I have no control over that thing. Does what it wants.
Vogel, how's your week? trying to get away from that. How's your week? Is it good? How's the kid? How
it was
we
all
doing?
right. It was all right. I was traveling for work at the beginning of the week. Back home now, thank God. It was a good trip, but happy to be home.
Well, we have a
blended
good question.
family. Go ahead, Rick.
Yes.
Take it away.
We have a good question. I just came in, not sure if you've talked about this, but what is your biggest surprise so far this season in the NHL?
Quite a few things.
Crickets. I hear crickets again. Who wants to go first?
I think you should go first.
Going twice. We're trying to think of something.
Rick, why don't you lead it off?
I'm trying to think of something. I'm stalling.
I'll give you a couple. The Winnipeg Jets are a wagon. The Nashville Predators stunk to start the year. The Bruins are in a real tough spot right now that I don't think anyone expected them to be in.
I'm surprised. It doesn't surprise me. Calling for it for 3 years.
Blow me.
Predators. There we
go. Jets, Preds. Yeah.
It's a surprise.
Those two are probably the biggest surprises, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, especially if you look at what the Preds did in the offseason. I think we've talked about it, guys, several times on Pucking Around, where people are saying, and I think Alex was saying, you need to give them time. It's early enough in the season. I'm just like, right, but it's not just about them. It's about the teams ahead of them. So you also need to rely on them losing, and you need to win. So there needs to be. It's not just about that. They started 0-5. That's a hole. I mean, Edmonton did it last year, but the Jets. Ooh, I wrote an article about it on Don't Puck With Media for our blog. They are on fire. They are leading the league in a lot of categories. There's almost no weaknesses to that team right now.
I still think there's going to be a time this season where they're going to fall on tough times.
Oh, sure.
It'll balance out a bit. I don't know how much, but I mean, they're going to come back to earth a little bit.
What they're doing now isn't going to be sustainable over the course of an entire season, but what a hell of a way to start the year.
What a start. Yeah, no, it's a hell of a start. By the way, what you were saying, Cam, what you were saying there about, they got to win and the other teams, that's more important, though, when you get near the end of the season and you're still got to catch up. That's hard then. It's a little easier at this time of the season.
It's still a huge thing now, dude. It's still a huge thing now.
It's a little easier.
If you just look across the league, a lot of the divisions are tight in points. And if you're going to fall into those kind of holes early, I mean, this is probably a different kind of league than we've seen over the last few years. You got to respect that.
with
A
parity,
lot of them are tight.
with parity, look at the races. There's really some tight races, but that means if you're on the
But
bottom,
that means
it doesn't take that many wins to get back up into it.
I'd argue alternatively to that, because it does. If there's that much parity and you are still 10 points out of a playoff spot if you have 0 wins and the other team has 5.
If you go on a run, though, like if you go on a heater, it's possible, right?
But if you go on a heater, what does that mean? The teams above you need to lose. And so
But they will.
It's
I'm
about
saying
watching about trends, man.
If you go on a heater, like the Preds, we just talked about them last year. They were sucky at the beginning of the year. They won on an 18-game winning streak, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do that, you're going to catch up at this time of year, especially. I'm just saying, though, that what you said is valid, but it's harder near the end of the season when you have to catch up than it is now. That's all I was saying.
They're 5-9-3 with 17 games played. I mean, that's bad. That's pretty bad for that team.
Preds we're talking about?
Yes, 5-9-3, 13 points.
So they go on a 15-game heater. They're going to catch up.
But you need to rely on
tall order. That's a
yeah, but you need that means you need Colorado throughout that same time frame. You need the other teams ahead of you to not.
It's a tall order, but it's easier at this time of the year if you're going to go on that heater. I'm not saying they are, but I'm just saying teams like that can, and they are capable. With the players that are there in Nashville, they're still capable of doing something, but they're running out of time. There's no doubt.
I don't think I disagree with you that it's easier when you have a ton of more games to play, but it's still hard in much more ways than it is than easier ways. But just to kind of take away from Nashville, because we could beat that with the dead horse and just say like they're going to eventually figure it out. There's probably going to be a coaching change, I would imagine. There's going to be something that changes in that system because that team's too good to be where they are. At least on paper. Washington Capitals, they're in the mix too. Like they're right now in 4th place in their division, and I bet you no one thought about that.
Well, here's a question. Okay, that's what it was. It'd be in the mix. Sorry. Surprises though. Any players surprise you this year?
John Beecher. Playing out of his mind. He's
going to clear the NHL award ceremony. No one even needs to show up. Don't even bother.
Yeah, but seriously, any players that are in that top, the top scorers in the league, is there anybody in there that's a surprise? I don't think so.
No, I think it's the same. I think it's the same different people.
You both talked to.
No, I think Vogel's said the same thing. Like, no, it's the people, I mean, I am actually surprised that Ovechkin is on pace to score like 50-something goals.
If he does, isn't he going to pass Gretzky this year?
He will pass Gretzky. I don't think he's going to. I think he's going to taper off a bit.
I think he's going to.
I think he's just going to miss it, and it's going to be really close.
I hate that he's definitely going to too. I hate that.
You hate that?
I don't know why.
I don't like it either.
I hate it.
I love it.
I don't like Ovi, so
I do. I love the idea because it was talked about for so long about how it was going to be such a insurmountable feat, and there he is. Someone's knocking on the doorstep of it. You know what I mean? So
knocking on the doorstep. I think he's gonna do it this year. It's gonna suck.
I don't mind that someone's gonna take the title, but I've never been an Ovi fan, so that's why I
haven't either.
It's all. But he's going to do it, I think, this year. He seems like his sight is set on it, and nothing's going to.
They're playing like it too.
Yeah, maybe that's one of the reasons why they're playing so good. That him driving towards that goal this year might be elevating that team a bit. No,
maybe it's a possibility. I'm not going to deny that.
The moves they
he's
made
also a good leader,
and the moves they made in the offseason have worked out for them.
Yeah, I was surprised. I honestly thought Pierre-Luc Dubois was going to nuke that locker room. But like I said, it could have gone one of two ways. There would have been no middle ground. Either Ovechkin was going to get his ass in the line, or Pierre-Luc Dubois was going to absolutely nuke the locker room. There would have been no in between. And Ovechkin got his ass in line.
There's still time. You never know. But
I
I agree. It's a surprise for me there that Pierre-Luc Dubois has.
and he's playing fairly well.
And because you kind of know that he killed them off in LA, right? That locker room, he must have screwed up that locker room because they're a lot better than they were last year.
I was surprised that he killed that locker room because you had the guys like Drew Doughty, Hans Kopitar, 2 Stanley Cup winners. They're multiple, 2-time Stanley Cup winners. You know what I mean? So
he must like it in Washington too. He must like it there in Washington. Maybe that's the key. He didn't like it in LA.
Well, I think in LA he was also fighting with Quentin Byfield. You know what I mean? Quentin Byfield was gonna be their guy. Like, you know what I mean? There's definitely other stuff that needed to happen.
Yeah, Byfield's playing well now. All right, let's just get this question. You guys might be able to answer this. Habs being in the mix versus being mixed up. What do you think? They're definitely not in the mix.
No, they're definitely not in the mix, but I do think with calling up Joshua Waugh, that would fix some of the problems. That would fix a lot of the problems.
We're fixing a lot of the problem. Eh?
You know what would be? You know, it'd be a fair trade if they gave us Nick Suzuki for John Beecher. That would be it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
That's exactly what would get them to the finals, dude.
Oh, man,
That
would be such an overpayment by you guys.
Yeah, we would have got fleeced in that deal.
We got fleeced, yeah. You guys should
get
take it.
Nick and Cole both for Beecher. Come on.
Oh, God.
I don't want to look at Cole Caulfield's face that long.
No, I'm good. It's ugly. I'm sorry. Cole Caulfield is not a handsome-looking dude.
Oh, God. He's a 5'3" mutant-looking bitch.
Yeah, and if he was a Bruin, you wouldn't be saying that. Just jealous that he's got 12 goals and you guys, nobody has like more than 4. Okay.
Let's pull up this last question, the most recent question here from Blended Family.
Most recent one?
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Right on the bottom.
Cam.
I decline to answer. Your Honor. Your Honor, I object. I was initially glad that they signed Zadorov. I thought the Bruins needed to get a little bit bigger on the defensive end. I think in the offseason, the Bruins accomplished exactly what the team was missing in the past year. I have been struggling to find kind words to describe Zadorov because he has at least given me 1 penalty per game. And he leads the Bruins in penalty minutes. I don't understand. He leads the league. The guy, I don't want to say he sucks because he doesn't suck, but he is not showing anything in the way of something good, of discipline.
But
because
hasn't he always been like that?
Not to this degree.
I don't know. I don't want to speak for all of Boston, but I expected a lot more from him coming here than what we've seen so far. And somebody else commented too that he beat up on Ben. That was awesome. He after that bullshit hit on Carlo, he did come in and defend his guy. So that was nice to see.
Yeah, that I'm all watching that last night, and actually I didn't even mention this. I know we were talking about in the chat, Vogel, but I was really angry. Like my fists were actually like slamming on my table with frustration, just not because of necessarily the loss, but because of what that message sends to the rest of the league, that's acceptable. Like you're gonna tell me a veteran, because you're gonna tell me a veteran guy, like Jamie Benn, he's been in this league for a very long time, and you're gonna tell me like that's acceptable? You got to look at that. You got to look at that with more scrutiny.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy, and not just as a fan saying that was correct. Even if that was anybody else, I mean, that's that.
Yeah. So anybody else, I don't care who.
Let me get this straight. So you're saying that if one of your players gets, a shitty hit taken on, right? If one of your other players stands up for him, that's a good thing.
You should, absolutely, 100%.
Except if your name is Arbor Jackeye, right?
Okay, well, Arbor Jackeye has some temperament issues.
I just wanted to say.
It's the same thing. Let me ask you this. Tom Wilson, do you think his reactions would be acceptable?
No, because Tom Wilson's a freaking asshole.
Okay, so then there you go. So Arbo Jackai is also in the eyes of the league has committed some stuff that is too
falsely
egregious.
in the eyes of the league, falsely
Well,
is seen that way. But it's okay if other players do it for their teammates, just not
except
in
if
the
you're
name
Tom
of Arbo
Wilson.
Jackai. Right?
And if you're Tom Wilson, right?
And Tom Wilson.
Okay. Just
And
wanted to make
Jacob
sure we
Trouba.
get that clear. And anybody Rick doesn't like. So realistically, it's like anybody else except the people I don't like. I have a list.
Hey, listen, I just had to clear that up. That's all. Hey, Joe, I'm sad I can't get the words out. Not happy to hear you're not well.
Today, Junior.
Exactly. That's what it was like. I'm feeling better from yesterday. I thought I was getting sick yesterday, but it seems like I'm not. So, but get well soon. That's Joe from the future. She's in Australia. Nope, that's not for us. Nashville made too many moves over the summer, and players are finding it hard to acclimate. Losing McDonough, too, left a big hole.
That's certainly part of it. I think, like, you know, if a bunch of new guys on a new team, it normally takes a long while to get people acclimated. Losing McDonough, he's older.
Yeah.
And he went back to Tampa, and Tampa's not doing that much better with him. Like, you know what I mean? Yes, Tampa's in a playoff spot, but it's not because of McDonough. It's because Vasilevsky's still there, Braden Point, Nikita Kucherov, Jake Gensel. List can go on for me, Victor Hedman. But I don't think losing Ryan McDonough was the biggest cornerstone piece. If they lost Roman Josi, you would have an argument there, I think.
I'd say with Nashville, though, what he's saying there, you know, that's true for a little while. But, I mean, we're getting how many games in? I don't know. Shouldn't they have – these are veteran players. That's not like they played on many different teams for different things. They should be able to, by 15, 16 games in, to have gelled a little bit. No?
You also got to think about this, too. I mean, well, especially Marchessault and Stamkos, who played together in Tampa Bay. You would expect for them to kind of regain some of that chemistry. But aside from that, you know, Marchessault has a lot of miles. Stamkos has a lot of miles on those bodies. So you got to look at that and with respect to that, too. So maybe that's having an effect on them.
Then it's on the GM. Can't remember his name all of a sudden.
Barry Trotz.
Making bad decisions then on bringing in too many older guys. I don't know. I kind of maybe you're right. I don't know. It's a mystery why they're that bad. You know, I can see maybe struggling, but still be at 500 or right around there. They're not even like it's not even really close. I'm just surprised they're that bad.
You know, Intertap also. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that name, but he brings up another good point about like McDonough being a perfect partner to Josi. But the same principle was thought to be with like Zadorov and McAvoy, because Zadorov was a more defensive player and he was going to alleviate some of that responsibility on McAvoy so McAvoy could go up. It didn't happen. So that could also be part of it, but I don't think that's part of the issue. I think it's also a coaching issue inside the system, and the players are not responding well. It could be the same issue. I'll put it this way. Nashville and Boston are having the same problems. That's exactly how I can phrase it. And they can't pinpoint exactly what it is.
You think that's what it is, though, that they're not gelling?
Could be not gelling that well. I'd be surprised that it is, but I think there is something to be said about Nashville that Boston is doing better. At least Boston's top line, like Lindholm, that acquisition, it's working out. The point production just isn't there. So it could be a coaching thing. It could be a system. It could be a system thing.
Who's the coach in Nashville? I don't know offhand.
What was that?
Who's the coach in Nashville? I don't know offhand.
I don't know at the top of my head. I don't.
Yeah, it's weird. I can't think at all who the hell.
He's a whatever. Apparently he's a bum.
I guess.
Maybe loser. Fucking loser.
He's a loser.
Actually, I'm gonna take a look at that.
Let's see.
Andrew Burnett.
Oh, Andrew Burnett or
Yeah.
Burnett. Yeah. Okay, that's an ex-player. Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
So maybe Maybe they need a new coach. Maybe get Montgomery from the Bruins. Maybe hire Dan Quinn, David Quinn. I can't remember his name. He was last year's coach of the San Jose Sharks. Something to get that team going. But
Montgomery has a job.
May not be for long.
I think that he's gonzo.
Gonzo. Let's see. Jack-Eye does not have temper issues. Been playing some sound discipline hockey so far. See, he doesn't have temper issues. He's the sheriff. He sticks up for his teammates. Jack-Eye has target on his back by refs and players, but he earned it. I don't agree with it. He earned it. How did he earn it?
He earned it. He's been aggressive towards other players, dude. It's fine. Listen, I'm not saying Jack-Eye's a dirty player, but I think he's earned himself look and he's lost some benefit of the doubt.
That's his job. Oh, so Jacob Trouba, not aggressive towards.
Jacob Trouba is not a good example of which that we could set any kind of criteria on. How the league has not looked at Trouba at this point is baffling to me, especially with his history, with fans screaming for it, everyone screaming for it, players apparently.
Jack-Eye hasn't done anything like Trouba has done.
That's an apple to an orange. Trouba has been doing this for years, but it's because of players like Trouba that give Jack-Eye that look. And I don't think it's fair to Jack-Eye that Trouba is not getting that attention, but you have to treat them as two separate entities. Fuck Jacob Trouba, and players have complained about him. Players have complained about him, just like players used to complain about Tom Wilson, and the league is doing nothing. So for a league that loves to talk about player safety, really doesn't do anything about it. Next question.
Next question. Do we have one?
Moving on.
We had a couple.
It's all Jack-Eye.
I would listen if I was in.
Who's Ryan Vogel? Is that a relative?
That's my brother.
There, your brother. Okay. How much longer does Chris Kelly run the Bruins power play?
Listen, I have a lot of respect for Chris Kelly, and I don't know. Maybe not long. I got to be honest with you, maybe not long. But
I think step one is you got to stop putting McAvoy to quarterback that power play. I mean,
have you seen the stats?
It is
when he's
not
out there
at all.
Have you seen the stats when he's out there versus when Hampus Lindholm's out there? Hampus Lindholm should regain when he's back, of course, when he's back and healthy. He should retain that one PP spot. McAvoy is not moving that puck fast enough. He's not shooting it when he should be, and it's always too fancy. I think it's not just McAvoy's fault; it's the power play as a whole.
Yeah. So, but again, to the Chris Kelly question, I mean, that also could be connected to how much longer does Montgomery have in Boston? And they bring a new guy in here, and he might see what's going on with the power play and have somebody else run it. So I think it's dependent on however long Montgomery stays.
Well, usually, right, a coach will bring in some of his own people. Like a GM comes in, he's going to want to put his own coach in there a lot of times, right? If they change the GM, that makes sense.
So even if he's still running the power play, there's definitely adjustments to be made because it is not good.
Yeah, I think. Well, it's looked better as the season has gone on, and you could see them in a lot of games start prioritizing shots, like having that shot mentality. And to basically Montgomery saying if your name isn't David Pastrnak, you can still shoot the puck because otherwise the team looked allergic to shooting it. Predictability is the worst thing that you could possibly have on a power play, and it's predictable.
Yeah.
Like when Shea Weber was here. When Shea Weber was here, everyone knew get the puck to Shea Weber. He's going to take a shot. That was our power play.
The only excuse is Alex Ovechkin, but that's because you're not stopping that. That's a rocket. That man.
Oh, that's why they got it to Weber. Weber had a rocket. Man, did he have a rocket? Yeah. But I mean, everybody knows, right? You're going to pass the puck around. Weber shot. That was what our power play was. So it went downhill.
Just to kind of go back and let's revisit Ryan's question just very briefly. Well, I think you and I talked about it too. There's going to be a change come probably Thanksgiving if something doesn't show in the way of progress. Like, the stats have been what? They're 4-2-1 in their last 7, right?
Yes.
So if we take those into account, it's kind of progress, but it's not consistent. So there needs to be something there. It looks like they were retooling it, but Dallas last night that was something. So who
Yeah,
knows? Maybe by Thanksgiving.
That was embarrassing.
Here's
All
a
right,
question.
before we move on, Ryan, who's going to win the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight? You're a big fight guy. You're my go-to for that. So let me know who's gonna win.
Here's an easy question. Do you think the next coach coming in to any team is Joel Quenneville? No. And if it is, oh man.
No,
I
think that his time in the league is long gone.
I hope so, man. I can't even believe that people actually some people want him to come back. Like, why?
There are certain people that feel that Quenneville has served enough time outside the league and has atoned for it. I said it, but it doesn't matter in that case because he let it happen for several years, and that speaks more to his character. And if I'm a player in the locker room, seeing him walk in as my new coach, I'm requesting a trade. I don't want to be a part of this organization. I can't trust him. I can't trust him.
I agree with that.
Now, does that necessarily mean Quenneville himself is a bad guy? I don't want to say that, but I don't want to give him much more in the way of the benefit of the doubt because he knew what was going on. It was proven, and he didn't do right by the people that he was supposed to protect.
Yeah, I know. I agree with that 100%. Joe, you're 100% right. Matheson on the power play, way too predictable. I don't know how they don't put Lane Hudson on the first unit here in Montreal.
He's young. They want him to learn. I don't understand it either. Lane, listen, you guys got to steal in Lane Hudson. I'm gonna say that. Like he's phenomenal.
My thought is that he's playing a lot. Like he's got a lot of ice time already. I think that's part of how they limit some of his ice time. Still doesn't really make sense to me, but yeah, it's gonna happen soon. Bowman came back pretty quickly. I didn't like that.
Yeah, Scotty Bowman is not that's right. Scotty Bowman.
Not Scotty Bowman. Stan Bowman.
Stan Bowman.
It's fun.
I'm bad with names. Sorry.
Cam is awful.
I'm the worst. The worst with names.
Cheveldayoff was part of that same regime, but he was in Winnipeg and nothing happened to him. I think they deemed it wasn't, none of it was his fault, and he had nothing to do with it, even though he did work there. Apparently, that's how it was judged, that he had nothing to do with any of it.
Let me ask a stupid question. Who is Cheveldayoff?
He's the GM of Winnipeg.
Was he the GM in Chicago?
He was an assistant or something, but apparently in the investigation, they found he was not at fault.
Yeah, Bowman was the GM, correct?
Yeah, Bowman was there. But apparently Cheveldayoff, he walked away from it. I don't know. I agree with that, but that's what happened.
Okay. So he was just like a front office guy.
Yeah, he got lucky with that.
I feel like there's a difference between being an assistant GM and kind of acknowledging it, being a GM, because then because the GM is the one that does that hiring, right? So he's the one that puts the coach in that position. Also, the head coach itself can also put someone in that position. And so if you're the head coach of a team, in the GM of a team, your job is to protect the players at all costs. Like that's your job.
I think what they said about Cheveldayoff was he was not in a position to do anything about it or something like that. I forget how he got off on that, but I just thought it was a flimsy excuse for him.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with it. Like, I think there needs to be accountability across the board, but I think, looking at it in totality, like the reason why that individual is probably more likely to come back was because of the limitation of their power and ability. But imagine, like, again, I echo this again, saying, imagine you being a player knowing what Quenneville allowed to happen. And then because a staffing change is going to come with a coaching change. Are you going to trust that coach to make that decision? Because I'm not. Yeah. If I'm an 18-year-old kid or a 22-year-old kid new into the league, I'm not trusting him.
Yeah, you got to think it's going to be difficult for him to have the room completely if you hire him,
Yeah.
I would think. I mean, look how long Babcock lasted when they hired him last season in Columbus. Didn't even make the preseason. He didn't even make the preseason. 2 weeks before preseason, they fired him. I mean, that's probably what happened with Quenneville. Because has he changed? Probably not. Guys that age don't change, and I'm close to that, so I kind of know, right? So there you go.
They could have Daryl Sutter.
Oh,
Good defensive
EnterTap
coach.
asks a good question, because I have definite feelings about this, and I've made them known. How about players that look the other way, like Taves and Kane, that said, "Oh, I didn't know anything." Captain of the team, you didn't know anything?
Was it proven that they did? Because I don't want to be presumptuous on these individuals. You can't.
Oh,
Then
I
you
don't
gotta-
mind being presumptuous here.
I won't. I will refuse that, because that's not the principles upon which that I was raised upon. I'm not going to presume to believe that those players knew anything about it. So I can't, unless it's proven. I don't want to put them
There
in
are
that,
players that were more minor that went through the system at the time that said there's no goddamn way in hell they didn't know about it.
Okay. So maybe, but if
So,
that's
I don't
the
know.
case, again, if that's the case, you have to look at it that way then, and just say, like, those are the leaders of your team. I would be on the side of, like, no, you know what I mean? They should also be equally held accountable. I mean, look what happened with the 2018 World Championship team. That trial starts next September.
2018.
Prime example.
Not September. They moved it up to April.
Oh, they moved it. Okay, so then there you go.
It's in April. So we'll get
So,
we'll finally
accountability.
hopefully get some closure there. Hopefully, because you never know, right? But EnterTap says he believes Taves said he suspected it but didn't see it as his role to say anything. Now, if that's the case, that's bullshit. That he would feel that way and say that. That's bullshit. Oh, no, it's okay. I walked down the street. I saw somebody getting raped, but I didn't think it was my business to say anything or report it.
And I know when you said that, you meant to say grape, right? Yeah, grape. He said grape.
Grape. That's what I said. You didn't hear me?
That's what I thought I heard. That's the fruit, right? There
Grape. You got graped.
Yep.
No, but I'm serious, right? If you know something about somebody that might have been sexually assaulted, you know this, or even
it's your duty and your responsibility as
if you're the
as
captain
someone
of the
with your
goddamn
moral authority.
team.
No,
it's
it doesn't even matter if you're the captain or not. It's irrespective of what your title is on the team. It's just if you're anybody.
If you're a human being,
it's your moral. It's your moral duty to bring something
report
up.
a sexual assault.
And I will say this. I've had, unfortunately, met some people who went through something like that, and it's not easy. Like, right, they talk about it and they say it's just not easy to bring that up. Even people who witness it, it's not easy to talk about. But still, I digress.
Yeah, you just I mean, look what's happening with the Diddy case. People that didn't do anything but knew about it, they're gonna be in trouble. Apparently so.
What did I say in the chat the other day, Vogel? Something about a well-oiled machine.
Yeah. If we're talking about Diddy, that was well oiled. Did you hear how many cases of oil they had?
Yeah, I made a Diddy joke, and Vogel's just like, Jesus Christ.
I'm hands off.
That's the point. You should be.
I was hands off. I wasn't going near that.
Oh boy. How could anyone say it wasn't? Oh, I have that up. Wasn't their role to report it? Says Joe. I think if you're human, anyway, we've been there, done that. Are we got any more questions, or we're gonna be taking off? I think now, eh? Or you still want to go some more?
I don't know. Kim, how was your day?
It's all right. It was pretty good. Got up, had a cup of coffee. Really good cup of coffee, by the way. It's pretty good. Smoke cream as a breakfast. Loser.
What's your coffee order?
What's my coffee? Dude, it's a medium iced cream. Maybe sprinkle some cool. Maybe sprinkle some good. Dude, I'm fucking basic. What do you want? Like, it's coffee. It doesn't need to be fucking special. Like, what do you want? A caramel macchiato?
Oh, I just want to know what kind of coffee. Sorry for trying to know you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Sorry for caring.
Yeah, what? It's better than me saying, like, I just have it black straight. It's annoying. Yeah, like, it's just bland.
What?
Bland. Nah, dude, I have a. Thanks. We already know that. No, I have this. I have a French press, so when I get to work from home, I just make a nice fresh cup of coffee. So, the evening was swell. I had a good evening. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, the evening was swell. I won at.
Here's a question.
Could the F1? What is that, Joe? What do you mean? Could the F1?
I think that's FI.
Oh, she's sorry, fat thumbs. Okay, she'll get that. You can read that one. Sorry.
All right, here in the U.S., is it poutine or smothered fries? I went to
Poutine.
Buffalo and it was called smothered fries.
Well, Buffalo's weird.
Okay, but smothered fries, does that have cheese too? I don't think so.
I've never heard.
They're
of
cheese
smothered
fries.
I've always heard it called poutine.
Okay, but cheese fries in the States, then it's just cheese on top, right? There's
Yeah,
no
cheese and
sauce.
bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I know that. I know there's a difference there. So now Putin is being like, you guys get it?
No. Putin is Russia. Poutine is the fries.
No, poutine is if you're not from Quebec and you don't know how to say it properly, you say poutine. If you're from Quebec, where it was originated, you say poutine.
Put it where?
You put it
I
right
say
in the
poutine
belly.
because I
put
am
it in
not
the
from
belly.
there. But yeah, I've never heard it called smothered fries. I do know that it is fucking delicious.
Poutine is great.
I was up there one time. I was up in Montreal for a Bruins game one time when they were playing up at the Bell Center, and I got it was poutine with smoked meat on it. It was man,
smoked meat poutine is good.
It was so good. We need some more poutine.
Yeah,
we need some more poutine in our lives
good
down
poutine.
here.
Good poutine. But it's like, if you're from Montreal, you say Montreal. If you're not, most people will say Montreal. And it's just like that.
No, it's Montreal.
It's Montreal, like a U instead of an O. If you're from here, that's how you say Montreal.
How do you say Quebec? Because it's Quebec, isn't it?
How do I say Quebec?
Yeah, it's Quebec. Yeah, right.
It's Quebec.
I'm going Quebec.
It's Quebec.
No, listen, you guys can say it any way you want. Just know that you're wrong, but I mean, you can say it any way you want. No, it's just you can tell, like, if a person is from here or not. That's all I'm trying to say.
Dude, I just ate in blended family saying poutine with bacon and sausages. Man,
that sounds delicious,
dude.
Poutine,
and then
you could put almost anything on a poutine and it's good, so it doesn't really matter.
You put that shit on everything.
On
Thanks, Red Hot.
Do American Costco's have poutine? I've never seen it.
I can't comment to it. No, I don't really go to Costco. I go to Target.
You're not a big Costco guy?
Dude, I'm all about the BJ's.
American Costco's have the hot dogs for $1.50. And
yes,
probably.
I think that's just a staple for all Costco.
Yeah, probably.
Again,
I love Costco hot dogs. I love Costco hot dogs. They're so good.
Yeah, I've never had them, but
oh no, those are good. You're gonna eat a hot dog. That's the best one. Joe says in Australia they replaced the cheese curds with grated cheese. Yeah, if you're gonna here, if you have it with mozzarella, so it's not cheese curds, it's gonna be grated mozzarella.
Hey,
I like it both ways.
When I go to a bar and get some poutine and cheese curds.
Now, I like it both ways. I wouldn't eat cheese curds for a long time, but now I'm good with it.
Dude, I had cheese curds we were talking about how earlier this week I was traveling for work.
Oh, Wisconsin, right? Did you have
I was in Wisconsin?
Buddy. Right?
Ooh.
Right.
That's cheese there, man. There's a lot of cheese in Wisconsin.
Man, they had cheese curds. I ordered them. They were like beer battered. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a cheese eater, though. I'm not a cheese. I'll eat it on things, but I won't just eat a piece of cheese like that.
Oh, Rick, these were no joke.
No,
knows how to do cheese curds.
Nah, it's okay. You can
shout out Wisconsin.
There's certain bars too. If you go, I think I was in Middleton. There's a couple places that did different types of cheese for cheese curds. You could actually pick. It was interesting.
Oh yeah, I got those were awesome. Those were the best part of that trip.
They use a really good. There's one if you have sharp cheddar. Oh,
what's a halal snack pack, Joe? I know halal. That's Muslim.
And I know snack packs are pudding.
Yeah, so I can't imagine what this is.
You know, that reminds me of Billy Madison.
I was just thinking that.
It's just you ate my freaking snack pack.
I was just thinking that.
And it was halal, okay? Do they? A halal snack pack. Okay, this is it. You have to cut it open like that.
It's a humane way of killing an animal.
No, don't the halal. Which one? Maybe it's the Jews. They cut the throat.
Oh, that's humane. Yeah, it only suffers for at least like 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's not very fucking humane.
No, isn't that kosher? Like, isn't kosher like?
I think that's what I'm saying. The kosher.
Yeah,
kosher
halal
meat.
is basically the Muslim version of kosher.
Yeah, so I don't know if they bleed it like we do. I don't think so. I think they do it differently. It's more humane the way the halal does it.
Yes. Yep. It has to be killed a certain way.
Yeah. Okay. Thoughts on a 3-game suspension on Brock Besser injury? Was it enough? I don't know anything about this.
I didn't see it.
It was. I don't know. It was Tanner Janot, correct?
Oh, I heard about
Tanner
him getting something. Okay.
Tanner
Janot.
Janot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a Cam move right there. Does he have a history of?
He's a tougher guy, but I don't know if he's got a history of doing.
The hit
I don't know
was
what
bad.
the hit was.
The hit was bad. Look at. Hold on, I can.
I'm looking at it right now.
I don't know
I'm
anything
trying
about
to
the hit.
see
But
where the.
Rick, can I share my screen, or are there
No.
YouTube rules against this?
yeah, but it depends on the length. Yeah, because it's on my channel too. I don't think we want to do that
Okay.
because it's the
All right,
length
yeah.
of the clip that's the problem. So
I don't know if I see any contact with the guy's head. I don't.
I didn't see it at all. So
Oh,
Yeah, there was
there's
definitely contact.
yeah,
and he-
there's
it was-
shoulder, his shoulder to the head.
I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, it was definitely a deserved a suspension. I don't know if he.
3 games they gave him.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's contact. The primary contact was the head. Do I think it was an intentional hit to the head? No, I think he would have tried to go through the body. But I mean, you can't. You got to call it as you see it, right? You can't just say like, oh well, I intended to hit him to the body.
Well, even if he didn't, who was the guy in Montreal? We got into it before, but the guy, I think it was Ottawa, ran somebody on Montreal.
Yeah. Was it Kirby Doc? Or yeah, I think
he got
Kirby
hit
Doc
by
him.
somebody, but and it was maybe he hit his head, maybe he didn't. But like regardless, you skated across the ice to kill the guy. Like that was your intention.
Trouba on
No, it was
Barron.
Jack guy.
Trouba on Barron.
Oh yes, you're right. Yeah, it was Trouba on Barron. Yeah, that you skated with intent. Your elbow was out. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, regardless of if he did make contact with his head, and he tried.
He did.
He tried.
And nothing. Not a penalty. Not a suspension. Nothing.
which is bad. Like that's not good. That's not acceptable.
Nope. But it's Trouba of the Rangers, powerful team. That's the corruption. They're not fair in how they.
Circle, I think that it should have been 3 games minimum. I don't know what his history is with shit like that. So
who, Trouba?
No,
Janot. Yeah, I don't know if he's been suspended. It's important. Has he been suspended or not? No.
That's what I mean. I don't know what is.
Trouba, he's never been suspended. He's a first-time offender. Well,
first time suspended. Yeah,
once.
Maybe 3 games.
He won't
minimum.
be a first-time offender after that.
Yeah,
but no. Player safety gone wild. Is that like Girls Gone Wild? Those videos? No, I don't think so.
I mean, I think it's I think it was unfortunate. Don't get me wrong. And I hope Brock Besser is okay, right? But I don't think Tanner Janot has done enough for me to say he's a dirty player. But I think the hit was dirty. I think it was also just unfortunate. I think I don't think any hockey player, unless your name is Mark Scheifele on Jake Evans, was intending to hurt somebody. But there are people who just see red and they hurt people.
Cam, did you see that? How can you say that? Did you see the hit?
I did, yeah.
How can you say that he didn't mean to hurt him?
I don't think he was going to intentionally headhunt him. I think I looked at like a couple different angles. I think in real time, and Besser's head was down. I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt and say I think
Cam is the biggest devil's advocate guy.
Yeah, he is, but
he will not say anything bad.
Well, someone said that was the first time that Jeannot was suspended, so that's why I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that I think it was a very bad situation. I'm acknowledging he hit the head. He hit the head.
He tried to take his head off. As someone who's thrown those hits before, he tried to kill him.
Good to know.
He tried to kill him.
I am never playing hockey with you ever again.
This is a lifetime ago. But I mean, he tried to kill the guy.
As someone who tried to fucking take somebody's head off, yeah. And you and Danny want me to play puck with you guys.
Come on.
Danny would actually probably light both you and I the fuck up, so it doesn't matter.
This is a good one. George Paros running player safety is like Biden trying to run a marathon. Yeah, I agree with that. EnterTap, I don't agree with that one. And I'm not going to repeat that. Mike Tyson might be all buzzed up, says BL. Just did an interview, and all he had on was his jock strap.
Awesome.
He's advertising, showing the girls, hey, look what I got.
Dude, he's married, but the guy has a hammer.
I'm sure he does.
He's probably all fucked up right now.
Okay. That was maybe a half a second. I didn't see the hit. The puck was still passed. So Guru says that was maybe half a second late on the hit. The puck was just passed. He was going to hit him no matter what. I imagine I didn't see this Jeannot hit.
And it doesn't matter in my eyes. It's a suspension worthy hit in my eyes. But am I going to say Jeannot literally intended for it to happen that way? I don't think so. Provided he doesn't have history. So in which case, I'm willing, Vogel, to give him the benefit of the doubt. If Tom Wilson laid that hit or Trouba laid that hit, hell no, I'm going to claim intent.
Saying he doesn't have history because he hasn't been suspended before is not an accurate statement, because that's like saying, well, Trouba doesn't have any history in hurting people. He has not been suspended.
Trouba has suspended.
Who? Trouba?
Trouba has been suspended in his career.
I just don't understand how you can whatever.
Next episode of Hybridation is going to be a debate with Vogel and I, because it's fucked up. We're going to bring up that hit on Carlo Biden, and you're going to be like, yo, Cam doesn't seem to think that he's a bad guy. He probably does XYZ.
Yeah, Cam thought he was trying to give him a hug.
That's what he's giving a benefit of the doubt. He's trying to hug him.
Oh my god.
Cam's going to be like, this guy, but you don't understand. This guy gives millions of dollars.
No, Sunday night. I don't even want to talk about that game. That was tough to watch.
Yeah, I have it in the notes that we have to talk about the hit. We're not going to talk about the. We'll talk about the hit.
I like this comment. Tyson and Jake Paul probably doing lines together before the fight.
Probably celebrating how much money they're making, win or lose.
Yeah. I don't think Tyson likes him though. I mean, I get it's a bit of an act, but it seems like Tyson doesn't like him.
No, there's some. No, he's said in interviews before that he thinks Jake Paul is a good guy and he does a lot for charity. He just doesn't think he's all that in the ring. Like Tyson has said that.
Oh, okay. I didn't. It's just a feeling I got. Okay. If Cam is such a devil's advocate, he should be working in the office of the New Jersey Devils.
Hey,
fuck no, that state smells so bad.
That's a dad joke, though, Joe. How are you doing dad jokes?
If anyone has ever been to New Jersey, that state smells like garbage in the inside of someone's like rancid asshole.
That's because Tony Soprano got killed off.
Sure.
Allegedly.
Well, he was in sanitation.
Allegedly.
He was keeping the smell down and killed him off. So it's
laser.
We don't know if they killed him off.
It went black. They killed him off.
Oh my god.
Well, that was the explanation from, I believe,
Cam never saw the ending.
No, but I believe. Oh, you didn't say? Spoiler alert! I never saw the goddamn show. I know how it ended.
What? Oh, Rick, you got to watch it.
No, I've seen some of the episodes.
Oh man, fantastic show!
It's weirdly not a show I think
Spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, New Jersey is the armpit of America. It is just so terrible there.
Well, how did you not ever hear?
And Connecticut is its goofy fucking cousin.
What was that, Rick?
I was asking him how has he never heard how that show ended?
Oh, I've seen plenty of things on it. Like Family Guy makes fun of it constantly about how it just cuts to black.
Yeah, and there's an explanation for why he does that. The guy came out and explained it.
Yeah, it's fine. Moving on.
His belief in death is that's what happens. You die. That's it. There's nothing else. That's what happened.
I don't know. What a fantastic show, though. You got to watch it.
It's not that I know it was a good show. It's not I'm saying it's a shitty show. I've seen plenty of episodes. I have. I just never got into it, even though I've seen episodes. Although I love Polly Walnuts. Love that guy.
Yeah.
That was
not as good as Maddie
character.
Bag of Donuts.
I see you should have auditioned.
Yeah, I was 3 when the show was on. Actually, I don't know. When was The Sopranos on?
Oh, shit. It's been off the air for a long time.
20 years.
No, it's not. Maybe 10?
99. It started at 99. It was 6 seasons. So 2005, I was 10.
You mean... No, it's been that long? Wow.
The first season was in 1999.
That's crazy that it's been...
No, I'm sorry. The final episode was in 2007.
Still, even that. I thought it was less. But that's closer to what I thought.
Yeah.
Not even. No, what am I talking about? I said 10 years. All right. Smell like socks of a homeless man in New Jersey. My grandmother, my mom's mother used to live in, I think, Garden City. And we used to go there as a kid. I guess back then, because it was a long time ago, it didn't smell that bad. I don't remember it being that bad. Don't puck with media. Look at that. Hey, we're up there. How is that? Who put that up? What?
It's weird.
How'd you post for me? How'd you do that?
I'm Magic Rick.
Oh.
I'm the Magic Man now, Rick.
Yellowstone is finally back, and I don't know if I care.
I was on Yellowstone for a while and then fell off.
But it's been out. It's been like waiting. I'm waiting for the second part of season 5 for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
What's that show that was on Netflix? That Ozark was supposed to be a good one too.
Ozark is awesome.
I watched the first year of that and I didn't continue.
You're a big not finished shows guy, huh?
No, I'm not. No, that's totally not usually what I do. But sometimes, shows burn out with me. It happens sometimes. Yellowstone, I already know what happens in the. They kill off Kevin Costner's character.
Dude, you with the fucking spoilers.
Well, it's out there. It's out there. You can read it.
Shit.
They kill off his character in episode.
You're like the worst fucking person in the world.
No, but it wasn't a secret. It wasn't a secret that he wasn't coming back. How they did it was a surprise, but
yeah, okay. I don't know
this
that,
is the
but
worst
I do know
thing ever.
That he gets killed off right away, and I was like, oh, what the fuck?
Rick would go
all
see
this
a world
waiting
premiere
time
of a movie.
All this waiting time, and then they do something stupid like that. But you're right. I know what happened.
Buddy, Rick, you would be the worst person. Like if you went to a movie early showing for their premiere on that night, and you had a line of people.
Matt said,
if you had a line of people waiting to go in to see the next showing, and you're walking out, you would come out and you would just be like, "Fuck! I can't believe Harry Potter killed
just
Voldemort."
Said it wasn't a secret.
You would just give the biggest bullshit, and I would be like, "I fucking hate you."
Vogel just said it wasn't a secret.
Harry Potter.
Just because you were like uninformed of things, it's not my.
By the way, Voldemort. In case you guys didn't know, in every movie ever, the villain dies. Just letting you know.
There, BL says how they got rid of Dutton was stupid. I don't know how they did it though. All right, where are we?
We're here. Where the hell are you?
We got one here. So Pittsburgh looks like it's going to explode. Do you see Malkin, Letang, or Carlson being traded? I know Crosby won't go anywhere.
Malkin, no, because I think he would stay with Crosby. Letang, maybe, but there's a lot of health concerns around Letang. A lot.
Who's going to trade for him?
Who's going to take him? That one, that the contract value and his age, it's. Carlson, the same. Carlson's just a contract.
The money
issue.
is too much.
Yeah, the money's too much.
I can't see anybody. Yeah, I can't. I mean, I can't see it. BL says they'll have Sullivan follow the sword first. There's rumor already that Sullivan's going to get canned.
Oh. John Henry, who owns the Red Sox, also owns the Pittsburgh Penguins. So if they want to make a trade to Boston with Crosby or Malkin or whoever,
for pennies on the dollar, just say, hey, we'll give them John Beecher.
We'll leave the door open for negotiations for that.
For John Beecher, yeah, we're not going to say we're going to get it done, but there's a possibility. It's a great deal.
We're just saying, John Henry owns the Red Sox and owns the Penguins. So
I was going to put the fight on. I can't. Too many people using our Netflix account.
Is it on right now?
Yeah, I can't watch it because probably too many people are watching. I can't watch it now. I'll have to see it on a replay.
Quinn, what's up, dude? Yeah, I'm probably going to toss it on. Give it a good quick watch. You watching it at home, dude?
Crosby's not getting traded.
He's probably not even paying attention.
I don't think that Crosby's going to get traded. He's got 2 years.
Crosby's not going anywhere. I also don't think Malkin's going anywhere.
Yeah, they're going to – Crosby for sure. He's going to finish his
career. Yeah. Those and even Malkin, I think that they're career Penguins. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah. I mean,
Letang and Carlson maybe towards the end if they want to, tack on 1 or 2 more years and just go bounce around with 1-year contracts. But Malkin and Crosby aren't going anywhere.
If they can find a taker for Carlson's contract.
Yeah, I mean
that's going to be the biggest issue. They're not going to be. I don't think they're going to be able. They're going to need to eat some money. If they are, they're going to need to at least eat half of it. And still, are you willing to take Carlson on $5 million? Like, it's risk. It's big risk.
Yeah, I mean, how old is Carlson now? He's got to be getting up there.
34, 30. No, I think the last time we talked about it, he wasn't that old.
He's definitely 32, 33, no doubt.
He's definitely in his 30s. That much I know. He is
final
34.
guesses.
He's 34.
Okay,
34.
Can't ruin the game.
He's got a few years left.
My bad.
You ruined Harry Potter. You ruined the Carlson game.
I am so dull, man. Do you guys know that Darth Vader is Luke's father?
Darth Vader is whose father?
You guys can't help yourselves.
Darth Vader is whose father?
Chewbacca.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
Could the Penguins end up at the bottom of the Metro? I wish that Alex was here to answer that question.
If Alex was here, if anyone mentioned Penguins, we would all sign off. It would be the Alex show. He would take over that and be like, no, I'm running with this. Fuck you guys.
Alex would definitely say yes, except that the Flyers are going to end up on the bottom of
it. It might actually be close between Philly, Columbus, and Pittsburgh.
Oh, true. Columbus is there.
And I kind of don't want Columbus to finish in bottom for obvious reasons regarding Johnny Hockey. So I hope they can at least do a splash. Nothing big, but just do something.
They're probably going to end up on the bottom though. Columbus. We'll see tomorrow. We're playing them tomorrow, so hopefully a game we can win. Blender said the Jackets just spanked Pittsburgh. Hey, Randy N. Right at the end.
Columbus tomorrow.
Oh, the Penguins, they refuse to rebuild. They can't really rebuild when Sidney Crosby and Malkin are there. You can't rebuild when you got those guys there. They're kind of stuck. It's kind of like in Washington. They couldn't rebuild with Ovi there chasing the title.
Crosby has also said that he would move to help the team. This is part of the problem.
And then just resigned.
They're not good. Yeah, you're right. And they're not going to. And I know that Crosby has been, open to that possibility, but I don't think he's going. He won't.
It's the fans. What do you think you're gonna endear yourself with your fan base? You move Sidney Crosby.
No, you can't. That has to be an agreed upon thing. And I know Intertap basically said they did it with Boston did it with Ray Bork. I'm like, but that was completely different. Ray Bork was a very stud-like defenseman, and he was he is one of the best defensemen to ever play the game, but he wasn't Bobby Orr. Sidney Crosby was a generational player that did so much for Pittsburgh.
Right.
He did way much more for Pittsburgh than Ray Bork did for Boston.
And Crosby's got a couple of Cubs under, right? Bork didn't. They sent Bork to Avalanche so he could win a cup, which he did.
Yes.
Out of respect. That's why they did that.
It was
Which
agreed.
also,
every
time, again, anytime I see that video, every time it's on TV, chills every time.
Mm-hmm.
Every time they hand him that cup.
Yeah. Yep, because he earned it above all else. And to Blended Family's point, he mentioned that if Crosby, I'm sorry, not Crosby, if Gretzky can be traded, so can anybody else. But that was a very, very unique situation.
And it was a different era.
And I mean, they did not. Edmonton came out and said that they did not want to. They had to. There's the difference.
That was Peter Pocklington. He did it for money. He was broke. He needed the money.
Yeah, but they didn't. But that's my point. They did not want to. They had to.
Okay, but I mean, still, it was just a truly financial situation. So, no, I don't. Gretzky was traded. Sure, anybody can be traded. I don't think they trade Crosby. I don't think they trade. He's going to be there for his whole career.
Who, Crosby?
Yeah.
I think he'll be there. Yeah, that could be anything.
And they can't rebuild until he's gone. So you can say, well, they should trade him, but they're not going to, and they're not going to rebuild until he's gone. And I think he's got a 2-year contract. He signed for 2 more. That's probably going to be it for him.
Unless, want to help me out here? I'm just putting it out there. Who knows?
How the hell did you do that?
I'm just putting that out there.
Where the hell did you find that?
It was on Twitter.
It's not on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
It's because the owner of the Red Sox also owns the Pittsburgh. Like, it was the Boston group, right?
Yeah,
owns them. Yeah.
It's one of the Boston guys on Twitter.
Yeah. So it's hilarious.
Yeah. So to that same point, maybe.
I'm not saying that you're not right on that, to say that they did not need to resign those 2 players and what the return could have been for them. I'm not disagreeing with that. The thing is, it's their age now that they did resign those players. You need to find a trade partner that wants to do that. And if you look at Chris Letang's injuries, that's hard. Malkin is probably the only piece that I could see that could be moved, because he hasn't had that kind of sustained injury like Letang has. Crosby's not going to move because he's their guy. Karlsson, you need to find a trade partner that's willing to eat all that money, or it's going to need to involve 3 teams. It's just difficult.
I don't know that the return would be that great. They're getting older.
Yeah, not at that age.
And how much are you going to get back? How much are you going to give up?
Realistically,
get a guy like that for a year or 2.
Realistically, Letang right now, at his value, at his contract, if you're asking me to eat his contract, you might only get a 3rd-round pick from me.
Exactly.
You're not going to get a lot in value. And people might say, like, that's too low. I'm like, look at his contract value. Look at his age. They're not going to get a lot.
You're not. You're just not. In my opinion, you're just not. And if you're really going to give up your future to get a guy that's here for a year or 2. That's how I see it. So I don't think they're being moved.
Yeah.
Gallagher is going to be a Hab for life because of his contract. Although he's playing really good.
Well, that's the thing. This is what Dubas does. He gives players what they want in terms of contracts, and he screws teams over. Look at the Leafs. Leafs are gonna be in another rebuild really soon.
They're gonna have to. Kind of
careers go to die.
You're gonna have to, I don't know what. Anyway, I hope that they struggle for till eternity. The Leafs.
Yeah, and Habs
Don't
Guru
bother
said
me. Sorry,
back,
Glenn.
back to Letang, he said that. I'm sorry, the Habs Guru said that he has heart issues, and it's concerning for a player like that. You never want to put that much strain on a guy he's had strokes. It's scary. So again, a 3rd round pick right now is what you're going to get out of him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're gonna at his age and
Malkin, you'll get more. Malkin, you can probably get a 1st round pick for.
Again, not because I mean, you're gonna get a 1st round for Malkin, really?
You could get a 1st round for Malkin if they retain 50%. You can absolutely get a 1st round pick.
If you're a team that you're on the verge of winning a Stanley Cup and Malkin puts you over the top, yes. If you're not giving a 1st round pick for a guy that age who's going to be out of the league in a year or two because of his age.
I wouldn't use Tanner Jeannot as an example, because Tanner Jeannot.
Jeannot. Come on.
I'm sorry, I would not use Tanner Jeannot as a.
I'm going to see that comment.
As a prime example, they overpaid and it was gross. Everyone in the league knew that was gross. But
that was stupid.
But you have to also acknowledge that Jeannot is a lot younger, so he could have, played up to that value, you know what I mean. But he didn't. So that's a gamble. But you know what you're getting. You know what you're getting out of Crosby and Malkin, and I know that kind of adds to your point that can increase their value. But at their age, it's not even just their age too; it's the value of that contract. Because a lot of teams right now, thanks to the flat cap, you have to consider that they're right up there, and teams fighting for a playoff spot.
That's right.
You're not going to have that kind of money to toss around.
And the only teams really going to trade for them are teams, like I said, that they're really close, and they want them to put them over the top for a year, But then the teams that are that close, they don't really have the cap space.
Sure. And you're right. Teams get greedy. So it really depends on who's the highest bidder. But you also got to be willing to make something happen. Maybe they don't get picks. They might get prospects in return, which is just as equally as good. It's what they need right now. It's what they need right now.
Still, again, I don't know who's making that trade to get them.
Yeah, it all depends. Because, like I said, the money needs to be there.
They gotta have the cap, right?
The assets need to be there, and Dubas has to take some L's. He's already admitted that he's had to take some L's. I mean, look what he traded Jake freaking Gensel away for. Nothing. Freaking nothing. What, Michael Bunting? And you couldn't even get a 1st round pick. That was a joke. Come on. And you think Dubas is going to get a 1st round pick from Malkin? With the way they've done it, I don't know.
Like I said, only if it's a team that is going to win next year because they just picked up Malkin. It's the only reason that they would give up a 1st rounder, I think, for a guy that age. In my opinion. All right, I think this is the end because we ran way over. So,
oh my God, we're almost at 2 hours.
Yeah, that's what it just went really, really quick. This went a lot better than I guess I would have thought too. So
Zero confidence.
We're gonna try to be doing this
weekly,
on a semi-regular basis for these question and answers. So what we're asking from you guys is write down a lot of questions to ask us for the next time. And then, but this was a lot of fun. It started out a little bit slow, and then I think we got into the speed of things. All right, so we're going to take off here. We want to thank everybody for showing up, for asking questions, and if you do have other questions that you want to ask, like if we sign off and you go, oh shit, I wanted to ask them something. Well, we got email addresses and all kinds of stuff. All the links are in the descriptions. And you can just reach us that way. Yeah, I'm going to stop talking now. Anybody else want to say anything?
Yeah, I mean, piggyback on what Rick said, we love you guys. Thanks everyone for the support, whether it's Talking Habs or Don't Puck with Media. We're really trying to build something special for you guys and give you guys as much good content as possible, just to keep everybody entertained. So we're going to be doing more of these. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope to see you again soon.
Hey guys, and also, I'll leave it to Vogel after this. After I say a quick goodbye, we have a live watch party for the Carolina Hurricanes, Philadelphia Flyers game on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Show up to that, guys. And it's just a hangout. We love engaging with you all. And it's always spirited conversation. So keep it up. We love hearing from you.
I won't on the watch party. I might be there, might not. We got our podcast on Talking Habs to do so, but yeah, join us or join them for the watch party on Don't Puck with Media.
I was about to say, just be aware that is on Don't Puck with Media. That is not going to be featured on Talking Habs.
Yeah, that'll be just running there because Matt and I'll be we'll be doing our Habs podcast, and we'll probably go in afterward when we're done, but we'll see. All right, that's gonna do it for tonight. Thanks everybody for joining. Till next time, stay safe out there. And by the way, don't forget Columbus Blue Jackets tomorrow for the Habs fans. Stay safe out there. Peace out, everybody. What are you laughing at me for?
I was laughing at both because we did the same thing at the exact same time. We both did a sign off.
All right, ciao, everybody.
Stay classy, San Diego.
See you later. Go Bruins.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, give a thumbs up, leave a comment, and please share this video.
Fuck Montreal.